Okay, we're going to talk about how to set up your gradebook. So the first thing you're going to want to do is actually go into the gradebook. And you're going to need to choose the section that you are setting up. This is my example section, so there's no students in it because I'm simply using this to model how you set up a gradebook. Typically, you'll do this in first quarter, so your term will say quarter 1. And then you'll have your section, and then task, you always want it to be in the quarter. So first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. Do not ever build a grade book in second progress or weekly eligibility. All of your graded assignments should go into the quarter grades. The first thing you need to do is click on settings, and you actually have to start calculating the grades. So you're going to click on grade calc options and continue. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that your second quarter shows as in progress, and that for all of your classes it is a 4-point grading scale. So there was several people who came to me because their grades were not calculating, and most of them, the reason was because they had not actually set up this part of it. So you need to make sure it says in progress 4-point grading scale for each of the quarter tasks. So second quarter, third quarter, you want to do 4-point grading scale, and fourth quarter, you want to do in progress and 4-point grading scale. Your other ones, they don't need to say anything. So if for some reason they say, quarter 2 weekly eligibility, you can change them back to no calculation. So again, all of your quarters need to say in progress, 4-point grading scale. You use the 4-point grading scale for any of your academic courses. If you are building your gradebook for enrichment or advisory, or if you are an ESS teacher and you have a pass-fail class or a pass-fail section, if you have a pass-fail class, then you will use the APS S/U. So when you're setting up your gradebook for enrichment, advisory, or if you have a pass-fail class, you will use APS S/U as your option there. Then you click Save. And you will see that you should have now 2 columns. You should have a posted column and an in progress column. In progress is where the grades calculate. And then when you post, you're posting to whatever you can post a quarter, you can post a progress, you can post a weekly eligibility. So that's where it shows up in the posted column. All right, so after you have added your grade calc options, you need to set up your categories. At Central, we use 2 categories. The first category, we're going to go ahead and add, is going to be called Assessment. Now, you can see that I have a whole bunch of sections here. If you wanted this category in every single one of these sections, then you could check every single one of these sections. If you only wanted it in certain sections, then you can put it only in certain sections. I am only going to put it into my modeling section here because I don't want to mess with other people's grade books that I am a part of. So I'm going to do that. Assessment is my category. I've selected my sections, and everything else I'm just going to leave because we want this category to help us calculate those grades. So then I'm going to click Save. And you can see that it showed up here. The next category we have is work habits. I'm going to go ahead and add a 1 after this because I have built previously a work habits section and I don't want them to get confused. So my work habits section, again, I'm going to choose my work habits category. I'm going to choose which sections I want it to go into. Work habits need to be excluded from calculation. So these are grades that you put into your gradebook, but they will not affect the students' quarter grades. Click Save, and you will see that here is the other work habits category that I just built. All right, so those are the two categories that everyone should have in their gradebook: assessment and work habits. You should not have any other categories in your gradebook. For advisory and for enrichment, you can just have one that's called participation, and you can just put your grades in there. So if you look at this one, participation is in this advisory section, and it is calculating. So you would use the 4-point scale or the APS SU, and when you put in your assignments, then it will calculate a grade for you. All right. So participation should be used in advisory and in enrichment. Okay. So after you've built those two categories, you are going to then build assignments. So you click on curriculum list and you want to put in a new assignment. The assignment name, I'm just going to put maybe exit slip 1, and my abbreviation is going to be ES1. You can have up to 5 for your abbreviation, up to 5 letters for your abbreviation. You will see that you will have all of your sections listed here, so you can choose for this assignment to go into multiple sections. You can update your assign date and your due date. Don't worry about gradebook sequence, just always leave it as 1. Here's where you can choose your category. So this is an exit slip, which is an assessment. So I'm going to put it in the assessment category. If this was maybe a worksheet that I was just simply checking to see if a student had completed it, and it was not something that I was using as an assessment to inform my instruction and to help me understand where the student is at in terms of proficiency, then I would put that into my work habits category. But being an exit slip, this is something I was assessing the student on, so I'm leaving it in the assessment category. You will also select your standards and grading task. So right now I'm building assignments in second quarter, so I'm going to leave it as second quarter. You will always have scoring type as points, and your total points will always be 4. You should not be using the multiplier. This is not something that we use in standards-based grading right now, so please do not change the multiplier. If you want to, on your own time, play around with this for students and for teachers, you can, but for now, this is the minimum that you need to do for creating an assignment. Then you're going to click Save and Close. And you will see that in your curriculum list, you now have that exit slip. And you will also see that it has shown up as an assignment here, and the category is now going to be showing up in calculations. Okay? So that is how you build assignments, after you build categories, after you choose your grade calc options. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I would be happy to help you set this up. If your gradebook, if you don't have anything in the in progress column after you've entered in assignments, what I need you to do is check your grade calc options and make sure that you have in progress and 4-point grading scale for academic classes, or APS SU if you have a pass-fail course. If for whatever reason you've done that and you've checked those and they're still not calculating, then come see me or send me an email and I will support you with doing that.